Whoop, whoop. All right, what's up, babe? Talk to me. Talk to me, people. Come on. Come on. 6 o'clock. It's May 28th. It's a Friday. I'm saying talk to me. There's nobody there yet. It takes a moment. So maybe I'll start yelling at the screen after people arrive instead of before. Because yelling at a blank screen is like worthless, man. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of breath. It's a waste of energy. But you could say that I'm practicing for when you all get here, and then I can holler at you once you're here. But until you got here, I couldn't really holler at you because what would be the point, right? So now I'm raising a fuss, but at least some of you are here. So when I'm raising the fuss, you can say to yourself, what is he fussing about? Doesn't matter. The trick is to get a reaction. A reaction will stimulate engagement, and engagement will create further interaction, and possibly your electricity is out. Really? Did it rain there? Anyway, excuse me, YouTube. I'm over here on Facebook. I don't mean to ignore you, but nobody's there. But I just wanted to know I'm over here on Facebook at the moment. So we've got Rachel, Chris, and Kathy. Hi, guys. Your electricity is out, and I'm looking out my window. It's been dark all day, and but it hasn't rained. Chris and I communicated earlier, by the way, everybody. This is relevant. Stay tuned. So I rode my bike today. I rode north. Chris, he rode around White Rock Lake, and so he said, "Hey, man, I got in, X number of miles before the rain." And I said, yeah, I got in X number of miles before the rain. But the thing is, it never rained. I mean, I was out. I was about 15 miles away, maybe a little bit further. And I was like, you know what? I need to head back. When you're on a bicycle, or I guess anytime you're out in the elements, unprotected, you're watching the weather. You're in a car, not so important. So I'm heading back, but I want some ice cream. So I route myself past Handel's Ice Cream. And when I got to Handel's, I was talking to somebody on the phone, a friend of mine. We had some business we had to discuss. And so we were talking. So I don't want to walk into the store with, talking on the phone. That's rude. And by the way, if you're somebody who does that, don't do it. So I stood outside. I'm looking at the sky, and the sky is getting dark. And I'm thinking to myself, I need to get going. But I don't want to pass up the ice cream. I can just get back on the bike and keep going, thus beat the weather. Or I can finish my conversation, then go get my ice cream, finish my ice cream. And I voted to stay and finish my ice cream. So finish my ice cream, buy my ice cream. So I got off the phone, got the ice cream, came outside. Sky's really threatening now. So I'm like, you know what? And I jump on my bike and I powered up. Because I was concerned. I mean, the sky was really getting ugly. And by the time I got, exactly 3.5, 4 miles from the house, I felt little droplets, very intermittent. So I'm thinking, all right, man, come on, let's get home. I put the pedal to the metal, but it never rained. Not here. It didn't rain. So Chris's electricity is out. I suspect he must have had rain or something. I don't know. I just don't know. Excuse me, I don't know. Meantime, Rachel says the weather in Arizona is great, and she swam. This weather wasn't bad. Chris and I can proudly report as bicyclists that overcast skies, if it doesn't rain, is really the friend to the biker. Then, so the weather temperature-wise was fine today. What wasn't fine was, I don't know, I'm afraid it's going to rain, and then it didn't. So Chris says very little rain. So why is your power out? Inquiring minds want to know, why is your power out? And you may not know, and that's fair too. So let me tell you, hi Becky. So let me tell you about this shirt, because I'm trying to do a shirt thing from time to time. This shirt is from Thailand. It's from northern Thailand, from the Lanna. Lanna was the country. I don't know if Lanna was the country because Thai and there's some uh, translation difficulty. But Northern Thai was referred to as Lanna, and the Lanna people, this was their style of shirt, and they sell this very all over Northern Thailand. And for me, I we were at a temple in the mountains. When I say we, there was a monk and I went up there, and the Chiang Mai was part of Lanna before it was Thailand. So everything about their language, culture, and everything relies upon the Lanna culture. It's different than southern Thailand. It's different than central Thailand. So this was a northern uh, tribe or culture. And so I bought the shirt at it. So you can imagine outside some of these more prominent temples. When I say prominent, I mean they have some attraction that brings tourists. So the one that we were at is up on a mountain, and a mountain in Thai is Doi, and we were at Doi Satep. And when we came out of the temple down to the uh, I mean, it's a long stairway, by the way. I've got pictures of it on Facebook. You come down, and this is common where a lot of tourists would go. There were a lot of booths, tents, tables, selling stuff. And they were selling this. I could have bought it anywhere. I bought it from some people that had it. The people that sell outside the temples tend to be more dark skinned. And I'm telling you that because it's not unlike anywhere else in the world that people who have the least, and for some weird reason, not weird, okay, dark skinned people don't seem to thrive economically as well as light skinned people. So I note that the Lanna and a lot of the northern Thai are darker than a lot of the Thai, and they tended to be the ones that were running the street food. They tended to be the ones that were selling the goods. And it's not just shirts, it's clothing, it's, food, whatever it is. And it's not associated with the temple, except maybe they pay the temple something to set up the tent. All right, let me see. Chris says, comfortable temp. Ann says, hi. Hi, Ann. And Radine says, the universe chased you home for no reason other than fun. Well, there's a spin on the universe chasing me home. But you're right. I hope it rains because I'd like my plants to get wet without any effort on my part. So thank you, Chris. I really don't like this shirt. I thought I liked it. It looks better on the hanger than it does on me, so I don't wear it very often. But it's very, very Thai. And clothing in Thai is generally pretty inexpensive. I paid probably a couple of dollars more than I had to pay if I'd have bought it somewhere like all the markets. I mean, they have some significant markets in Chiang Mai. There's the night market on Sunday night that went on for blocks and blocks. And you could buy these, you buy pants, you can buy, they had tourists down to a science. And then there was the night market that was every night. There was another part of Chiang Mai. That's where they were selling a lot of stuff, including foodstuffs. It was a smaller market. It wasn't as big as the Sunday night market. The Sunday night market in Chiang Mai is so busy that the temple I lived at was only a couple blocks away, maybe 4 blocks. And what we did on Sunday night was we cleared the way and people came and parked there. So the monks would guide them, get them to park, take their money, and they'd go, and then they have to come back after the night, by the end of the night market, and be done because we locked the gates afterwards. So there would be three monks typically who would clean up the grounds so that you can maximize the number of cars. This raised money for the temple. The people came and off they went to night market. Me, I just came out of my room and walked down to night market. But I will tell you, one, it was too crowded for me typically if you didn't go really early. And I got bored with it after a week or two. And I didn't like being around all those people. And third, as the pandemic began to settle in, uh, understanding something about the pandemic, I was certainly concerned about being in wall to wall people. So by the end, I really wasn't very keen. Good shirt for hot weather. Fits you well. Well, thank you, Ray Dean. I didn't think so. I think it's the neck that makes me feel it doesn't fit well, but thank you. Maybe I've underestimated the value and the attraction of this shirt. So, and I bought a lot of other shirts there, and I've worn a number of them here, but they tend to be the V-neck. So that's my explanation about the shirt. Lana, Lanna. And there's Lana museums, museums about the culture of the Lana before they were absorbed into Thailand. All right, a little bit more about what's happening in the world. I simply made up, excuse me, a title for the show today. Title for the show is "I Need You, Baby." I have no idea where that came from. It just occurred to me. Hold on. Ah, I refilled it again. It just came to me. I mean, I wasn't thinking. So then I thought, well, go find music to go with it. I need you, babe. I'm sorry, I can't do it. If you know you've got me going in circles, you know that that line is in that song. And you got me going in circle by the Friends of Distinction. It was a great song, along with Grazing the Grass is a Gas. Can you dig it? Also by the Friends of Distinction. Chairman of the board, give me just a little more time. If you've never listened to that, you're too young, you're too old, sit your ass down and listen to it, okay? It's a jam. Chairman of the board did one other jam I don't remember offhand. Lee Williams. I'm not acquainted with Lee Williams, but when I was looking at the Friends of Distinction, I picked up on "I Need You, Baby" as a song title instead of a song lyric, and I listened to one or two versions. Lee Williams was the best. And then Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, "The Love I Lost." My God, what a freaking jam. Capital J A M, jam. I'm not going to play it for you because I'm kind of tired of being kicked off of these arenas. I'm tired of getting noticed. I got my notice from YouTube late last night that I'd been silenced because of the CC Factory, the song I played yesterday. I was told by Facebook that yesterday's podcast is gone. I think somebody sent me a message and said the first few minutes are on, and the last few minutes, nothing in the middle. I'm thinking Facebook must have done that. I didn't do it. So I'm not going to play any music that's copyrighted tonight. Okay, we're just going to have to wing it. Going to have to go on our enthusiasm. Wait, you may have no enthusiasm at all. I'm tired of arguing with you people every night. I'll be enthusiastic enough for all of us, okay? So keep your opinions to yourself. Wait, no, don't keep your opinions to yourself. Hold on, time out. Don't listen to me. Write comments anytime you want. I don't know what happens. Sometimes I lose my mind. I'm crazy. I apologize. So don't mind your own business. Mind my business. Mind everybody's business. Just don't talk to each other. That makes me crazy. All right. So now you know about the music. You know about the shirt. Now let's talk about Marjorie Green Taylor. Okay. So I got to show you. I'm not sure how to do this. Let me see if I can figure this out. I was communicating with my ex-wife because she published this. Let's see. save image as Jew. You're going to see it in a minute. Okay. I'm going to post it to here. Now, my ex-wife does not want me to post this, or not. She didn't say don't post it. She's like, don't buy it. Oh man. Well, let me post a photograph here. Well, that's no fun. How can I? Man. All right. So what can I do? So there's a company in Tennessee, and you may have seen this. They're called Hat Works, and they're in Nashville, Tennessee, and they're selling a replica of the Jewish star, which the Nazis made the Jews wear during World War II, with Juden, right? Jew. Well, this says not vaccinated. So Marjorie Green Taylor equating the Holocaust with wearing a mask, she's only gaining popularity, folks. I don't care what you're thinking. Let's just be real clear on this. Anti-Semitism is fucking hot as a firecracker right now. Hating Jews, mocking Jews, painting swastikas, white nationalism is all the hot ticket. Make no mistake. Just like racism, anti-Semitism is kind of flourishing right now, right? So you can actually create a patch to look like the Nazi patch and use it as a gimmick to promote Marjorie Green Taylor, a piece of fucking shit human being that I would not hesitate, were she and I sit in the same room, man, I'd slap that bitch so hard they'd pick her up for speeding in El Paso. Okay? But I shouldn't even say stuff like that. Facebook may think I'm being hostile. And I wouldn't want that. So I apologize, Marjorie Green Taylor, you piece of shit, you pond scum fucking piece of shit. But there I go, as I often do, digressing. And I wanted to show you this picture, and apparently I can't post photographs, not it this way. So what else can I do? Is there some other way to show you this thing? How about this? Yeah, I can do it maybe this way. Hold on. I know. You're like, what is he? Just relax, dude. Let's see what comes up. I don't know if you can see the photograph. So back to where I was going with all of this. I wanted to take some time out to mention to you all, it's pretty much almost anything you are right now is hated, because what you are not, you folks are not, you're not far-right Christian, evangelical, race-hating people. So you are not, right now, you're not moving the United States of America forward. You are like this anchor that these people want to cut the chain or the rope, whatever's holding the anchor, they want to cut it. And they'll put it up on your phone. Well, I know I don't have to redeem, but after all, what the hell, right? This really is a, come on. Well, it's got writing, so you can't see. So where did I leave off? Oh, so I just wanted to kind of stimulate you. I wanted to get you And I'm sure that I know you all well enough to know you already have a heightened awareness and consciousness. But, I would be remiss if I was to podcast on a nightly basis. And in a moment like this in history, to like gloss over, pass over, don't deal with the fact that these fucks are they're 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 like rabbits right now. They're 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 multiplying faster than you can imagine. The danger is just percolating under the surface. What's going on? You all saw the results of the Republican survey that over 50% of Republicans polled today do not believe Biden won the election. So what do you think that means? What do you think that means? Those people believe that Biden and those that maybe support him literally stole the presidency of the United States. What flows from there is we are not legitimate occupiers of the United States. Biden's not the legitimate president. This means that if you could kill Biden, if you could kill Harris, if you could kill any of us, you're on the right track. You are Nazi Germany percolating beneath the surface, not even beneath the surface anymore. What am I talking about? This is just so out in the open. Marjorie Greene Taylor went out and doubled down after being chastised for what she said, equating the mask with the star. She doubled down. She said, hell yeah. And then she said the Republican Party is the party of Trump. She's not backing off. Matt Gaetz said about Paul Ryan, he's old, he's inconsequential, he doesn't know when he criticizes the Republican Party, he's out of step. The Republican Party is the party of Trump, and Trump is the party of racist motherfuckers. I'm not saying that because you support Trump, you're racist, but it happens to be the party that if you're racist, you belong to right now. You could have voted for Trump for other reasons than racial considerations. But if you were a racist, you voted for Trump. You did. And you did it gleefully. And you were willing, in some cases, to go to any lengths in order to attempt to secure the presidency. They're going to lose in the courts. They've got lawsuits everywhere. They got lawsuits over the voting. They got lawsuits over any element of the voting. They're going to fight. They're going to lose in the court. So what is the next logical step? If you feel that Biden is an illegitimate leader of the United States, then what logically flows from that? And that will be his attempted assassination. They will try to take out Trump. And right now, the Secret Service is trying to figure out what Secret Service agents pose the greatest risk to Biden. They know for a fact that they have Trump supporters, not apolitical agents. They know they have political agents that are loyal to Trump, and they are doing what they can, and I'm not sure what that is, to minimize his exposure to those agents, because you can't just fire them because you heard they like Trump, right? But do you understand how precarious the situation is? That if you can convince Secret Service agents that Biden is an illegitimate occupant of the White House, can you imagine the danger that would put him in? Can you imagine the type of information, the type of what do you call it? Wow, I'm just, the crazy Trump roommate I had is moving to Texas. Well, she doesn't need to move to Texas, just by the way. Crazy Trump people are everywhere. So This ain't nothing. This got nothing to do with Texas. This is national. Just making that clear. I don't think you mean to diminish it, but I'm just wanting to be real fucking clear that this is national. That these people are everywhere, and they're freaking armed, and they believe. How do you wake up in the morning and believe that 7 million votes were stolen? I mean, if you were going to steal an election, you probably couldn't pull it off with 7 million votes. But that's not what they need. They're not trying to overturn the 7 million votes. They're targeting the states that were the closest in the Electoral College so that they can overturn the results in those, that they can then claim that they have a legitimacy to ascend Trump to the presidency once again. They're willing to do this at the cost of democracy. They're willing to do this at the cost of the United States as you know it, because they don't care for the United States that you care about. That's gone, man. They're not attached. Let me tell you, I did a whole show on the ghetto, on the inner city. I sat here and I explained that we needed trillions of dollars to reinvigorate the inner cities all across America, because the persons who occupy the inner city are no longer operating in the same culture. They're no longer operating in the same society that you may be. If you are white and even close to middle class, the odds of you participating in the same society that people in the inner city, people of color who live in the inner city, are participating in is not likely. You're not watching the same TV shows. You're not listening to the same music. You're not buying the same products. You don't shop in the same stores. You're operating in two very different societies. Well, guess what? So are the white nationalists, the white supremacists, the racists, the misogynists, the homophobic. They're operating, they're not watching the same TV shows you're watching. They don't read the same books you read, if they read. They're not aspiring to the same value system that you aspire to. This is going on. And what's happening is there's this feeding frenzy. You better freaking understand that Trump is like red meat for them, right? He's throwing it out there and they're gobbling it up. And I'm watching this, man. I got friends calling for Biden's impeachment on Facebook. Now, step back for a moment. Don't let me keep hollering at you. I'm a little agitated. Let me calm down. Imagine that. On what grounds would you suggest to another human being today to impeach Biden? In order to impeach a president, they would have to commit a crime. Trump committed crimes, and so they moved for his impeachment. They couldn't do it. The only reason they could move for his impeachment was he was being accused of crimes. Biden's not being accused of anything. There's nothing. There's no evidence. His son is being accused of crimes. And by the way, I'm not sure that his son isn't a criminal. If he's not a criminal, he's certainly kind of a lowlife. His participation in this Ukrainian power company is very suspect. Absolutely. To pay Hunter Biden tens of thousands of dollars when he had no background and he had no connection to Ukraine, to sit there and to think that they weren't trying to buy favor with Joe Biden is silly. It is ridiculous. Okay. But that's not even close to the kind of corruption we've been dealing with under the Trump administration, where he had 3 kids who were just pigs at the trough. And Hunter, I hope he just slips into his cave and goes away, stays away. And I hope his father, Joe, realizes what a mistake it was to get involved in any way, shape, or form with this whole Ukrainian power company mess. It only, all those kinds of activities only lend to the idea that what is happening is that corrupt politicians, in particular Democrats, now occupy the White House, the administration, and thus stain the legitimacy of everything they do. Not that he was elected. He was elected, but there'll be a stain on many of the things he does. And we don't need that. So hopefully Joe's done with that kind of bullshit. Um, but uh, I just felt like I had to blow the trumpet again and say, I've tried day in and day out not to really go after these people on my podcast because you see, I used foul language for the first time in 2 weeks. You see, I started yelling, and I wasn't yelling like dance, 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 right? I was yelling a great deal of profanity, right? Because I was pissed. I'm pissed about these people. I'm pissed they exist, but I accept their existence. I've known about it. I've just never seen so many of them. I mean, I'm telling you, I got people and the things they're saying on Facebook as right wingers is absolutely incredible. I don't comment. I don't get engaged because it won't do any good. Those of you that have Trump supporters in your family or amongst your friends, you already know if you're going to have any kind of communication, it can't be political. It cannot be political. This is a deranged time. So I don't feel it's advantageous to shun my friends because they're Trump supporters. Okay. That's not my intention. My intention is, though, to talk to my non Trump supporting friends and make you keenly aware right now. This is it, man. This is a pivotal moment in history. The election was a pivotal moment in history. But right now, the fact that Trump was run out of office and has not lost any momentum, the fact that you've got the Marjorie Green Taylor, that you got Matt Gaetz, that you've got Laura Boebert, that you've got Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio, that these people are no longer apologizing after they make statements which are patently false and patently racist. Ron Johnson in Wisconsin, what a particular scummy human being he is. And I mean particularly scummy. I mean, when you skim the top of the pond for the pond scum and you look under a microscope at all the icky looking stuff there, Ron might be in there. Anyways, these people are no longer shying from the light. When the media comes at them and says, how can you say this? They're doubling down. Hopefully, everybody who hears my voice understands exactly what I'm saying and understands that these people are not flinching. They're not shrinking. They're pushing forward. They're getting louder. They're getting bigger. They're getting more powerful. What does that tell you will happen to those of us who are not on their side? They're not talking about winning us over. They have no intention of winning us. They don't imagine for a minute any more than we imagine winning them over. They have no illusion about winning us over. If they're going to control the United States, they will ultimately, as they have begun to do, suppress us. The first place they're suppressing us is at the polls. The second place they're planning to suppress you is with guns. So Texas says, you know what? You don't need anything to carry a gun anymore. Tennessee says you don't need anything to carry a gun anymore. These states, which are in the midst of a crisis, a violent gun violence crisis, are liberalizing the gun laws, ought to be telling you this isn't happenstance. It is really not happenstance. This is all looking down the road. These people got their eye on the prize, and the Republicans know how to keep their eye on the prize. The Democrats know how to stick a thumb up their ass, seal their lips, and try to get along. Oh my God, get along with what? So imagine, everybody who's listening to me, you're good people. So we get together and we say, let's go to a Trump rally and let's just try to convince them that We're good people. Now, I wouldn't go with you. I wouldn't even cheer you on. But let's say you went there. What do you think would happen? Oh, yeah, you'd get kicked out of you. Absolutely. And I don't mean figuratively, I mean literally. That's what's happening. We need to be ultra vigilant now. And I don't even know how you can be more vigilant than we've already done. I mean, we went, we voted, we did what we were supposed to do. We ran him out of office. That was the mandate. The mandate was get rid of him. He's divisive, polarizing, hate spewing son of a bitch. Let's get out there and vote. And we did. So rightfully, we did within the parameters of the Constitution and the law. We did what we were supposed to do. And we woke up and found out he was just their spokesperson. There's so many of them on the police departments, in the Secret Service. We know this. I'm not making this up. This thing about the Secret Service, this isn't Ken, going off on a tangent and telling you. There's reports. They know the military. They have military leaders, former and present, that are ready right now to overthrow the government in support of Trump. They are white nationalists, white supremacists, and they believe that in order for this country to thrive, we must oppress and suppress not just citizens of the United States, but persons all over the world. That Biden is some sort of peacenik, some sort of traitor to the country. They want him out. I don't know what you do with that. I don't have a clue what you do with that. I've never been here before, kids. I really was one of so many that hoped upon hope upon hope that if we showed up at the polls and voted and won, that we would see a diminution in what was happening. But unless you're living in your closet, unless you have a brown paper bag over your head constantly, you have to know that's not what happened. Matt Gaetz is being investigated for sexual assault, and he's laughing. He's scoffing at it. Trump is scoffing at the criminal investigations of him. Why do you think they're scoffing? Historically, when you're under criminal investigation, your lawyer tells you to shut up. The reason they're not shutting up is they're fighting with public opinion. They're trying to make it so hard for any of them to be tried for their crimes because of their politics, because of their professed ideology, that you won't be able to find a jury to convict them. You may not be able to find a judge that'll uphold an indictment against them. This is insidious beyond all insidiousness in your lifetime. I didn't mean to talk about that. I thought we'd talk about love and I need you, baby. And I thought, well, that'd be a good subject, wouldn't it? We just talk about I need you, baby. Strung out over you. I want you, baby. So, I don't know. I told you how I feel. Oh, God. And so I said, I want to get one of those stars. And my ex-wife says, well, why do you want one of those for? Because I said, where can I get one? I went to the website of Hatworks. I couldn't find it. She said, why would you want one? I said, I kind of want one for posterity. And I want to be able to show someday, first off, present day, I want to show all my Texas friends how sick this all is. Because I want to be standing there showing them this patch that says not vaccinated. I want to show them what they've done to the legacy of the 6 million Jews and the gypsies and everybody else who were murdered under Hitler. I want to push it in their face. I want to rub it in their face. I want to shove it up their nose, that little patch. So I want to buy one. So I said, I want one. Her response was, I wouldn't spend a nickel with that company. Well, I get that. I get that. But let's be clear. They're going to sell the patches. They're going to sell out of patches. They're going to sell every Jewish, not vaccinated Star of David that they make. I'm betting they will. I'm thinking they won't have any problem. And I'm betting that whatever negative publicity they're going to get as a result of doing this on Facebook or whatever else, I will bet you dimes to dollars. It won't hurt their business in the least. I'm betting it increases their business, it increases their visibility, and the people that want their hats are going to be exuberant that these people are supporting America. I went to Eatsy's 2 days ago with Ricky, and there's a sign on the door: masks are optional. This is America. You have rights or something. And then it said, God bless America. Now, Eatsy's is an upscale. You go in, you buy stuff that's pre-made. It's not a restaurant. You buy sandwiches there. You can buy pastas. You can buy all kinds of, it's expensive, but if you live alone, it's very helpful because you can buy all these pre-made meals. And so I went in there to get lunch with Ricky, and I saw this. God bless me. It's one thing to put on your door, uh, masks are optional, but we encourage you to wear one because that's what I see now. No, this guy, whoever owns it now, it used to be owned by a restaurateur. I don't know if he still owns it. Is clearly, this whole God bless America. Let me just say this: who the fuck you trying to impress? Who you trying to impress when you say God bless America on a carry-out food place? What do I care whether you think America should be blessed or not? What are you trying to convey to me? What you're trying to convey to me is where you stand. What's your ideology? What's your political ideology? And I won't be setting foot inside of Eatsy's again anytime soon. I was just like, you know what? If you say mask are optional, I don't like it, but I'm down with it. You could put up masks are required. You could not have any sign, but if you got to say masks are optional because we believe in your rights, something like that. We believe in your rights. God bless America. Go screw yourself. Not because I hate America, because I know what you're saying. I know now that when you're waving flags, blue flags that say we back the blue, the red, white, and blue, all this patriotism, this nationalism it's all part of a movement of white supremacy. Even the people that don't mean it to be are in, they're having to ignore what is so obvious. How do you ignore it? If you're an awakened person, if you're intelligent, you've seen this, you're not buying into it. Who's buying in? It has to be people that are willingly not noticing, or not only are they noticing, they're embracing. That's what's happening. It's time to go. And I'm sorry I yelled at you. I wasn't trying to yell at you. I don't even know why I'm yelling at a computer screen. I can see me. Why am I yelling at me? Why am I making faces and being upset? I don't know. By the way, everybody, Chris's electricity is back. So when he said that certainly brightened up his day, I think he meant the electricity. So listen, a bunch of people already have visited this podcast. Some of you stuck around. Some of you had to move on to making dinner, whatever. And some of you may move on before we're finished with the meta, because we're going to do meta now. So if I don't see you at the end of meta, please have a nice day tomorrow. It's supposed to rain again. Otherwise, I'd be bicycling. I put my hands before my heart, and you can too. This is a wonderful thing to do each and every day, whether you see me or not. Just to bring your hands before your heart, bow your head, close your eyes. Take a deep breath. May I be happy, healthy, free from all harm, free from anger, anxiety, and fear. May this practice lead me to a life of greater peace and comfort. May my mother and father, all my relatives, and all my friends be happy, healthy, free from all harm. May they also find a path and a practice that guides them to a life of peace and comfort. To those persons that bother, disturb me, persons I harbor any ill will towards, in this moment, karmically, I let go. I cease to grasp whatever bad feelings I have. Instead, in this moment, I replace them with the intention that they should be happy, healthy, free from harm, enjoying their lives in peace and comfort. And finally, to all living beings, wherever they may be, throughout this entire universe, there are so many beings, and we collectively are sending out goodwill and kindness that all living beings be happy, healthy, free from harm, living lives in safety, comfort, and peace. Satu, Satu, Satu. Thanks, Ray Dean. Well, Joan, maybe. The thing is, it's just every day, every day. Y'all watch Nicole Wallace, former Republican, worked in the Bush administration as his communications director. She sounds like a freaking liberal now. She's so disgusted with what's going on. You watch Nicole Wallace on MSNBC and you're like, oh, you know, she's really skewed to the left. No, she's right. She's a right winger, but she's so stunned by what's going on. All right, stunned and stunning. Thank you, Joan, Ray Dean, Chris, and Becky, Rachel. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Mark and Ann. And I said Joan. I don't know. Wherever you are. And if you showed up later in the day and I'm not here in person, you're just watching the video, peace to you too.